Divorce doesn't just end a relationship. It dismantles a universe, a shared language spoken without words, the comfortable rhythm of a life lived in tandem, the quiet certainty of having a person who just gets it. All of that vanishes. It ends an entire world you built, not with bricks and mortar, but in the soft, hopeful architecture of your mind. The home you imagined wasn't just a place. It was a feeling of arrival, a sanctuary from the outside world. The future you planned wasn't just a series of events on a calendar. It was a story you were writing together, a destination you were navigating toward, side by side, and the version of yourself that existed beside someone else, that person who was part of a we, whose identity was interwoven with another's, suddenly feels like a stranger. And when that world collapses, it's not a clean break. It's a slow, grinding earthquake that leaves you standing in the rubble of what was. People will tell you to be strong, to move on. They'll say you're free. But you don't simply walk away from the wreckage and feel liberated. That freedom feels like a terrifying, empty expanse. You bleed. It's a silent grief, one without a funeral or a public ceremony. It's an emotional hemorrhaging that happens behind closed doors, in the car, in the shower. It is profoundly, primally painful. If you're here today, it's because you feel that pain. You are not just going through a breakup. You are grieving the loss of a life. And I want you to know something very important. Your grief is valid. Your pain is real. And you do not have to navigate this alone. Let's start with a simple truth. One I need you to hear and hold on to. You are not weak for feeling this shattered. Strength isn't the absence of pain. It's the courage to face it, to sit with the wreckage and know, deep down, that this is not your final form. This is a moment, not your entire story. You are not dramatic for grieving so intensely. Society often minimizes the pain of divorce, treating it as a simple parting of ways. But you know the truth. You're mourning a future that will never be, a person you thought you knew, a version of yourself that existed only in that partnership. Your grief is valid, and its depth is a testament to the love that was once there. And most importantly, you are not alone. Right now, in this very moment, countless others are navigating this same bewildering landscape. They are feeling what you feel. We are a quiet community, bound by a shared experience of loss and the slow, uncertain journey toward healing. You are a human being walking through the stages of heartbreak. It's a universal process, a path worn by millions before you. It is messy, nonlinear, and deeply personal. But it is a path. And a path, by its very nature, leads somewhere. And today, I'll help you understand those stages and how to survive each one. We'll move beyond just naming them. We'll equip you with practical tools and a clear perspective to navigate the emotional storms and find solid ground again. Many people think grief only happens when someone dies. They see it as an event with a clear beginning and end, reserved for the loss of a life. But divorce is the death of something too, a living, breathing entity that you built together. It's a unique kind of grief because the person you're mourning is still out there in the world. It is the death of a routine, the quiet comfort of knowing how your days and nights would unfold. It is the death of shared dreams, the future you mapped out together, now a phantom territory you can no longer visit. It is the death of familiar intimacy, the shorthand language, the inside jokes, the simple, unspoken understanding. And ultimately, it is the death of us, that powerful two-letter word that defined a huge part of your identity. And it's in the space left behind by us that you must now learn, slowly and gently, how to rediscover me. When a marriage ends, the first thing people see is the absence of a person. But you know the truth. You're not just losing a person. You are standing in the quiet aftermath of a world that has been unmade. You're losing identity, the we that shaped your days, your choices, your reflection in the mirror. You're losing stability, the predictable rhythm of a shared life, the comfort of knowing where you belong. And you're losing memory, or rather, your relationship to it. The past is no longer a foundation. It's a landscape you have to learn to navigate all over again, filled with triggers and ghosts. Because of this, the grief of divorce is not linear. It refuses to be organized. It doesn't move in a straight line from sadness to acceptance. It is confusing. One moment you feel a flicker of relief, of freedom, and the next you're drowning in a wave of regret or anger. There's no map for this territory. It is repetitive. You will have the same thoughts, the same circular conversations in your head, day after day. You'll feel like you've finally conquered a feeling, only to have it reappear, demanding your attention once more. It doesn't follow a neat schedule or a clean emotional timeline. Society, and maybe even a part of you, wants this process to be tidy, to be over in 6 months or a year. But grief has its own clock. You may wake up strong, feeling capable and clear-headed, ready to build your new life. Then break down over a song, a smell, or a memory that ambushes you in the middle of the grocery store. A sudden gut-wrenching ache that feels like day one all over again. That's not failure. It is not a sign that you are stuck or doing something wrong. That is how humans heal. It is a spiral, not a straight line. You revisit the same places, but each time you are stronger, wiser, and a little further up. Healing isn't about erasing the pain. It's about integrating the experience and learning to carry it differently. In this space, we will walk through the stages of grief after divorce, not in theory, not as a rigid checklist to complete, but in the real, messy, emotional world you're living in right now. We will explore the myths and the realities and discover the practical, intentional actions you can take to not just survive this, but to build a new life that truly fits the person you are becoming. Denial is your mind's first defense. It whispers, "This can't be happening. We'll fix it. They'll come back. It's just a phase." You replay conversations. You convince yourself there's still a chance. You keep texting. You stalk their social media. You scroll through old pictures and messages. Denial is not stupidity. It is survival. Your brain is trying to protect you from shock, because accepting the truth too quickly would destroy you. How to cope? Stop forcing closure. Allow the mind to adjust slowly. Limit constant exposure to memories. Do not chase explanations. You don't need to understand everything right now. You just need to breathe and survive. Healing begins the moment you whisper to yourself, "This really happened." Not to punish yourself, but to free yourself. After denial fades, anger arrives. You get angry at your ex, yourself, their family, friends who knew the universe. Anything that feels unfair, you say, "I wasted my time. They lied to me. I should have seen this coming. Why was I not enough?" Sometimes you're angry at tiny things. A cup left on the counter. A message seen but not answered. A picture of them smiling without you. Anger feels loud because it is power returning to you. How to cope? Don't suppress it. Don't explode at everyone. Write in a journal. Exercise talk to someone safe. Anger is a fire that can burn you, or a light that guides you. Honor your fire. Just don't let it consume your life. This is the most desperate stage. You try to negotiate with pain. If I change, maybe they'll come back. If I forgive everything, maybe it will work. If I sacrifice myself, maybe we can fix this. You lower your standards. You ignore the betrayal. You rewrite the past to make them look perfect. You try to create a version of yourself that might convince them to stay. But bargaining is not love. It is fear of loss. How to cope? Recognize manipulation. even self-manipulation. Observe what you're willing to sacrifice. Ask yourself, would I accept this life if it started today? Love is not begged. Love is given freely. The person meant for your life will not require you to shrink. Then comes silence. You don't negotiate anymore. You don't fight. You don't scream. You simply feel empty. You lose interest in hobbies. You can't eat. You oversleep or don't sleep at all. Your body feels heavy. You question everything. Was I good enough? Why me? Will I ever be loved again? This is not weakness. This is mourning. You're grieving the version of yourself that lived in that relationship. How to cope. Accept sadness as part of healing. Don't isolate completely. Practice self-care routines. Speak to a therapist or counselor. Celebrate small victories. Depression is the stage you are most likely to heal in because it forces you to stop running and start feeling. Acceptance is not, I'm happy it ended. Acceptance is, it ended and I can live again. You start fighting less. You talk about the relationship without pain. You think of the future without fear. You wake up and realize you didn't cry today. You reclaim yourself, your hobbies, your friends, your identity, your dreams. Acceptance is not a moment. It is a quiet reconstruction. You no longer chase explanations. You no longer bargain with ghosts. You no longer revisit the past to punish yourself. You begin to understand. The chapter ended, so a new one could begin. If you're grieving right now, please understand this. Healing is not a straight line. You might move between stages. You might feel acceptance today and anger tomorrow. That doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're human. One day you'll look back and understand. The pain didn't destroy you. It shaped you. You're not broken. You're transforming. If this video helped you, you are invited to stay with us. This channel is a judgment-free space for healing, guidance, and emotional clarity after divorce. Explore the next videos and remember, you deserve peace. You deserve love. You deserve a future that makes your heart feel safe again. Subscribe for more interesting facts.